to the event, you can check in at MLH Hackathon. MLH HTTP colon / MLH local.host. Let me share the link to the chat. So if you have access to the chats, you can see the link. So yeah, MLH Hackathon, MLH local host. Check it. If you go to the link, it will give you a few questions like what is your first name? Then you can give your name. What is your last name? What is your email address? This is the email that you registered with, you RSVP'd with, or the email that you currently use. If you're currently a student, then which MLH local activity you're participating in. You can go to the drop down and choose Capital 1 Basic Training Intro to Python Skills. So Capital 1 Basic Intro to Python Skills. Then which school or organization, you can pick other because you're not part of the list listed here. Then please type the name of the university or organization hosting your event. You can just write Microsoft Student Partners. And then, yeah, you can submit the form. So let me give you 2 minutes to a minute to do that. If you have any problem checking in, you can send a chat to the, you can send a chat. Yeah.
Okay, kidogo tu.
So I hope you've all checked in. This will be very essential if you want to receive the resources we'll be using today. So what is MLH Hackathon? MLH is basically Major League Hacking. It's an organization built to empower hackers. Each year there are around 65,000 hackers who meet together all over the world in 400 different cities to build, to create, to learn. So you can find more resources at http://mlh.io. I've just realized my audio was switched off, so kindly use the chat. So why pardon? So ensure your mics are muted. So why does this session matter? Coding is basically the new literacy. Everyone in this century is learning how to code, to build things. I think in the next 10 years, coding will be like a normal language, like another English, because it's basically, we want to speak to computers. We want to be able to tell computers what to do, not let them be our masters, but be the master of our computers and our apps. There are millions of careers where you can earn a lot of money, especially in Python. And Python is one of the easiest languages you can learn. It's basically English. And in Python, you can be able to build apps, you can be able to build websites using Flask and Django, and also it's very good in AI and data science. So today we're focusing on AI and data science. So the first, when I repeat question, how many people have coded before in Python? So how many of you have been able to use any other language other than Python?
Maybe JavaScript.
Yeah.
A bit of JavaScript.
Who else has coded before with which language? Okay, so this will be a fun session. Oh, there's someone who's coded in C. That's very nice. So, an introduction to Python and this workshop basically. We'll be learning about basic Python skills, and our main focus is AI, artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is not something superficial, something that's out there. It's something that we interact with in our day-to-day lives. So today we're on lockdown, or not lockdown, we have curfews, or it depends on which side of the world you're in. For Kenya, it's curfew. For other countries, probably lockdown. For other countries, it's business as usual. So, but most of the world is either under lockdown or something similar. And one of the things that's grossing a lot of salary is Netflix and probably YouTube, because everyone is watching on Netflix, everyone is watching something on YouTube. And they use artificial intelligence to help them, especially in recommending. So like when you check your YouTube page, it will recommend you with the videos that you either watched before or you keep watching every other time. For me, it's probably daily. It's probably Trevor Noah shows. I really like laughing, so, or anything comedy or some tech tutorials. That's the first thing I'll find when I go to YouTube. In Netflix, probably more of comedy and animation. That's the things that Netflix will recommend to me. And so basically they use AI to recommend you what you should be watching next, what you have been watching. So today we're just going to build basic Python scripts and running them on the console. A console is just an application that runs Python files. So our code today is on http:// our starter code. Let me share the link. Give me a minute. Our starter code is, you can find the links in the chat or you can find it in the question. So go to that mlh local.host/glitch-bot. You'll find the code that we'll be using today. So with this code, this is not the code. This is the app that we're building. So with this app, let me stop sharing my presentation. This is the app that you're building. So sorry. So this app that you're building, we can be able to. This is basically what we will build at the end of the day. So it will involve a web app and some script data from Twitter. So you choose a popular person or a celebrity that you would want to work with. So for instance, let me choose Bill Gates. And you can type your message below. I hope you can see my screen. So let's say, let me just type hi. It's a very non-intelligent bot, so it won't give me much of a good response. But when I typed hi, Bill Gates replied, all the work that rich countries are at even greater risk than wealthy ones, because even harder for them to do physical distancing and scaled up across the country soon. I don't even understand what it means. So maybe I can say coronavirus and it will still give me a reply. So this is not very intelligent, but eventually we can be able to build intelligent apps with the code that we work with. Let me continue the presentation. So how does the demo I've shown you work? When you enter your Twitter handle or that of another user, the information is put into your script. So the script pulls some tweets from Twitter. The scripts are built using a process called web scraping, which is basically going to the internet and trying to get data from different websites. And once your script has this information, it runs some functions on it. Functions are just code, reusable pieces of code. And the function removes the information we don't want and prints the information we want. So printing is just basically now displaying the information on the screen. So today I asked everyone to create an account on Glitch. So we'll be working on Glitch. We use the starter code, learn the basics of Python, write a few Python functions. We will need to be scraping Twitter using Python, not today, I don't think so. Then we can format our information and review the next steps. So what is Python? Python was created by Guido van Rossum in 1991. So it's pretty young. It's not that old. It's like 30 or 30 something years. So it can be used to make web pages, apps, and scripts. And also you can use it for AI and machine learning. So today our basics will be focused on AI and machine learning. So the Python terms, or the terms that I'll be using today repeatedly that you need to know is, number one, variables. Variables are things that store information for us. For instance, you want your first name. When you're filling a form, you have to, the first thing you asked is your name. So the variable, let's call the variable name. So it will store your name, and your name will be like, for instance, my name is Bethany. So the first name will be stored by variable, will store the name Bethany. Loops are things that can do the same task, that structure your program to perform the same task multiple times without repeating very many lines of code. So loops just help us. For example, you want to listen to songs in an album. So instead of picking each and every song and coding each and every song in every line, you can just use a code to help you loop or to just help run through the album and give you the song that you want. Instead of you building a loop that if you want this, if you want to play next, you have to create a new line of code. You want to play the next one, that will be tiring even for us programmers. Then the other thing is functions. Functions are tiny bits of code that you can use in different parts of your code. So you can just create a function, for instance, a mathematical function that calculates or computes your age, or computes your age or multiply something. And instead of you repeating how to compute your age in another part of your code, you can just create a function that will do this. When you run it or when you call it at that time, you can just reuse it. Then running your program will be printing a program using the console, and in Python we use the print, so it's very simple and easy to understand. So the best way to learn code is to basically code. So we'll set up Glitch. So if you have not set up Glitch yet, you will have to wait to verify your email, but you can sign up at MLH. You can sign up at mlhhost.mlhlocalhost/glitch. So let me share with you guys the link. I cannot. Let me share with you the glitch sign up. You can see it on my screen. You can type. If you can't type it, I will be sharing it in a few. I've shared the link. I'm sharing the link in the chat. So you can sign up and you can log in and sign up to Glitch if you haven't. So we have a starter code, and our starter code is the link to our starter code. So okay, can you guys see the link to the code?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, so you can go to that link. I can share it to the chat. There's a link. So I think I can stop sharing the slides and share with you what it will bring. So with the link, so it will give you something like this. So this is what you will come. If you've already created an account, this is what will come to your screen. So you can go down and mix your own. I hope you can all see that tiny button at the bottom, at the end of the card. So you can remix your own, and it will now bring up a new. It will bring you a new project with it. So I hope you've clicked the link, and I hope you guys are ready. I don't want to start coding when you guys have not yet logged in.
Hi.
Are you guys okay? Yeah, hi.
Okay, yes, I've logged in, but I cannot be able to see the links that you're sending in the chat.
But you already logged into Glitch, right?
Yeah, I'm already there.
Oh, that's okay. I hope no one has a problem. I will continue. So the first thing we'll be working on is we will be working on variables. So as I said, a variables is something that stores your data. So on your glitch, page, go to variable.py, and you can type the following code. So you can type your age, whichever age you're in. So my age is a variable, and you've assigned it to 15. You can go to variables.py. Then you can type your age. Let's say my age is, let's say 30, which is a lie. 30. Then you can say your name, first name, or whichever way you want to name your variables. So my underscore name or first name. You can say your name. So my name is, remember, so the different types of data that you're inputting. So 30 is a number and your name is words, I think. So numbers in programming are called integers, and your name is a string. So for integers, it doesn't require any special way of inputting it. But for strings, you have to use quotation marks, either double or single. Python is not very discriminatory, but I normally recommend use double. So you should write double quotation for your code. Then the other part of the code is now printing. So for printing is now it now brings the output of your code. So you can print your name or you can print your age. So print, and don't forget to input the brackets. Print, then your name or age. So in the second print code that you can see there, it's they have combined print hello plus my name plus exclamation marks. So this is called concatenation. So concatenation is basically adding different parts of strings to your code. So you can print hi or hello or whichever way you will greet yourself. Your name plus the exclamation marks. Then in the third print statement, it's hello, then curly brackets, comma, your curly brackets, years old. So when you use dot format at the end, it replaces the variables. Like the first curly brackets will be replaced by the name variable, and then the second curly brackets will be replaced by the age variable. So I hope you're all anyone wow. Anyone who's not been able to do that? Anyone who's not been able to create those variables? So, okay, and continue. So for you to run the code, for you to now see the output, you can go to tools, then go to terminal. So in the terminal is where now it's like the console. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Bethany, we can.
In the terminal is where the control is.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see my screen, right? So you can see me at the terminal. So you go to tools, then select terminal. So, wow. So you go to tools, then select terminal. And then after that, you can, I'm sorry, my internet is a bit slow.
Hi, good evening, guys. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Yeah. Now at the terminal is where now you run your code. So our code name is variables.py. So down here you run variables.py. And with that, oh no, sorry, you run Python variables.py and it will give you the output. Hello, Bethany, or your name. Then you realize that there's no space between hello and Bethany. So you can create the space when you're writing your code. When you're writing your code, hello space, then the quotation marks plus name plus the exclamation mark. Yeah. So we can go to I hope you've all understood about variables. So we can go to the next slide.
Hi, Bethany.
Yeah.
Can I take you back?
Yeah, you can.
I have not been able to do what you're doing currently on your screen.
To run the code,
Yeah,
or to write the code.
To write the code.
Writing. So this is, let me share my screen. So this is the code that we're writing. So this is the code that we are writing. I had placed it on my screen a while back. So basically you write your age, and my age is the variable name, then you store a value in it. So my age is equals to maybe 15. Your name is equals to Sam. Then with Python, you can, when showing the output is just by printing. So print into my age or whichever variable that you give. So you can also print a sentence by, this is called concatenation. So you use addition by addition. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Then you can also use dot format to, instead of you writing using concatenation, use dot format to write a whole sentence without using, and use curly brackets to now show your variables. I hope you're in the same page now.
Yeah. But
yeah.
My issue is your that statement, click on variables.py in glitch and type in the following code. That is where my issue is. I am already in glitch, but I have typed variables.py, but still.
Did you use the starter code that I gave the link to? We have a starter code that we're using. Are you using it? You go to HTTP, it's in the chats, http://mlhlocal.host/glitch-python-i. That's where you will find the code. Then down there, you can remix your own. Then after now you remix your own, you can now dive in and start writing the code. Are you there?
Could you also explain the meaning of this starter code?
Oh, the starter code is basically a base of what we will be doing. So we have different different topics that we'll be covering: variables, loops, functions, imports, and lists and rejects, I think. So the starter code is just different pieces of code that different pieces of code that we'll be using. So this is now the README. We have project files, creating functions. The README will give you everything that is contained in here. Most of the files are empty because we will be filling them with our own code. Any other questions before I continue? I hope everyone has been able to run the Python variables.py code. Okay. So another thing you can be able to do with variables is you can be able to modify them. So this is just operations that are being done here. So in Python, we can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and we just use the normal signs that we use in math. For instance, let's say A is equals to 5 plus 6. No. Oh no, I've done a mistake. Let's say A is equals to 5, B is equals to 6, then C is equals to A. So we print A. If I go to my terminal and run the code, it will give me 11. So we can do different operations. So subtraction, use the hyphen. So with subtraction, it will give me -1. Wow, I'm sorry for the many. Then you can use the star asterisk. Is it asterisk or star? It's above the 8. That is for multiplication. So it will give me the answer 30. Then for division, you can use the hash. I'm not sure what these signs are called. So it will give me 0 because. So these are the basic mathematical functions that we use. We can modify our variables with. I hope you're all in the same place. You've been able to modify variables. So the next thing is functions. Functions is basically things you can be able to use in the code, as I said. So one of the functions is print and format. As you have clearly noticed, print and format repeat the same. If I use print, it will just display the values on the screen. Format will be used to now replace my curly bracket with variables. So basically, those are the two basic functions that we've used. These are inbuilt functions. They come with Python, but then we can also be able to use our own functions. And then calling them now is when you use them when running something. Like we used print to run the division between A and B. And so, for example, with Python, with functions, this is how it works. So you first define your function. So let's say our function is called, so we define def, then our function, let's give it a name, hello underscore name. Then inside the brackets, we now call the arguments, like what will it be outputting? So the arguments here will be name. So we are basically we'll be using name. We will be saying hi to the name, to the argument, which is the name. So as we continue, you can use your function to print, like for instance, print hi there, and then your name. So print hi there, then your name will be there, dot format gets your name. So let's say for instance so this code is say hello, then your name. So your name is already defined up there, but now we've not given any variable to name. So we can say hello underscore name into then your name, Sunny. So we can come down here, then run Python into functions.py. Yeah, then the output is hi there, Bethany. So basically what we've done, we just created a function called hello name. Then the argument here is the name. So we print, then inside the hi there, we print hi there, then your name. So when you call the function hello underscore name, it will print your name inside. So let me use my second name. It will just do the same thing it's done before. So it will hi there, Bethany, hi there, Jepchumba. Any question? Oh, thank you, Laureen. Any other question? Okay. So we can move to, I hope everyone has understood how functions work.
Yes, I've understood.
So let me give you a small challenge. So write a function where you can create two numbers and add them together. Oh no, create a function that takes two parameters and multiplies them together. Then we print the result. You've understood the challenge. Create a function that takes two parameters. So the function, you obviously have to define it, then give a name to your function, then the two parameters. So it takes probably number 1 and number 2, and then multiplies together and prints the result. Okay, I hope you've been able to create. Let me give you the results. You can define and you can name your function anything you want. Then maybe the values to be A, B, or X. Then print X and then multiply. So basically, when you multiply the two numbers by 5, it will give you. So with you, this is kind of different. So probably your first name and your and add the parameter. Then full name is equals to up the letters. Then you can create then add your last name. Then so when you create the function, it will give you. It will probably give you your answer, but then the problem we didn't use the print. There's no wait. Yeah, you didn't use the print function. Where it will obviously yes create your full name, nail. But then if you don't print it won't display in your code. So at the end of creating your full name, now display your name. This is now the final code of creating your probably your full name. So I hope you've been able to create who has been able to create the multiplication code. None has been able to create the code.
I have.
Who has been able to create the multiplication? Okay, that's good. Can you share your screen? Let me stop sharing mine. Can you share your screen? We see it. Okay. Okay, let me continue sharing mine. But I hope you've understood how creating functions work and how basically how functions work. So next we'll work on
He's so bad that wants to find a stars. No. Don't be fooled by his charming, dirty exterior. Casually mentioning your open source code like God comes fire. Come on, you might be challenging me to do.
Okay, so we'll create loops. So when you click on the loops.py, it basically gives you print day 1, day 2, day 3. So if I run it on my console, loops.py, it will give me all the days, day 1, day 2, day 3, up to day 10. So the question is there an easier way of running all this without having to write 10 lines of code? So, of course, and that's where loops come in. So loops, it's just a way to repeat the same tasks without writing out each time the code. So when you want to write the same task and to do the same task over and over again, so a loop will help you not to repeat the different lines of code. So for example, so here this is the code that you can use to loop and write all the 10 days. So you can delete all the code that's there, that's already there, then write for numbers in range 10, print into.
Excuse me, I can't see your screen.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I can't see your screen. Your screen. Oh, I can see it now. Thank you.
Okay. So you can print day, then curly brackets, dot format, so when I run this code again, it will print all the days, but it will reach day 9. That's the only problem, but it will print all the days. Now I get it. So loops for number in range 1 to 10. So range is just basically 1 to 10. So with range, it gives you the numbers between 0 to 10. So it will be 0 to 9. It wouldn't give you the last number. So you can write up to 11, then print. Now the number, you have to write day before. So yeah. So what is the purpose of adding format? So with format, you can be able to write the line of the string. So, and then use curly brackets. And these curly brackets, when you use dot format, will replace the value in the curly brackets with the number. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so if I print it again, it will give me 1 to 10. If you don't want to use dot format, you can just day plus number, and then leave a space. And then when you run your code again, do the same. Wait, no.
Bethany,
Yeah.
someone has just asked. Sorry, I joined a bit late. What's the purpose of adding
Oh yeah,
the
I've
format?
already answered.
Oh, great.
Yeah. No way, this is not working. Good num. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can't. So you can string, then do it again. Yeah. So you can't add a string and a number and in an integer. So for a string and an integer, you have to, for an integer, you have either to convert it to a string or convert your string to an integer, whichever one you want to use. So this is the other alternative way of using it. But I think dot format is easier because you don't have to convert, you don't have to do all these things. So yeah, that's basically how loops work. So yeah. So the next thing I hope you've all understood how loops work. It's just basically, so for num in range 11, this value doesn't have to be num. You can just say for a in range 11, it's just a dummy value. So you don't need else loop. This thing will continue giving me errors. Dot format. Oh, yeah. So you can use, then you declare that A there. Then it will print your numbers 1 to 10. So it doesn't have to like, it's not given that it's supposed to be A, it's supposed to be number. Can use any value to iterate. So this is called iteration. So you just, iteration is just going through all the numbers and picking out the values. So the next thing we're going to focus on is lists. So with variables, we were able to store one value, but now with lists, we can be able to store more values. Like if you want to store a list of names, a list of numbers, a list of songs. So in JavaScript, you may hear them calling them arrays, but in Python, we call them lists. So we can go to our code in lists.py and probably add a list. So we can add probably planets. So with planets, we have, so we use square brackets. So we can add different planets. Let's say Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter, etc. So you can print your list, and this will be the outcome. So print planet. So this is lists.py. So it will give you your list: Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter. So you can, with lists, you can be able to pick a value from the list. And in Python, or I think every other coding language, we start counting from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's say, for instance, you want to get a value. You want to get the first planet. So it will be planets into 0. So when you run this again, it will only give you that value, which is mass. So you can count from whichever. So if you want to count from Jupiter, it will be negative. Wait, I'm not sure. If you want to count from the other side, it will be a -1. So Jupiter will be -1, Neptune -2, so on and so forth. If you want to pick values in between, you can pick, let's say, 1, 2, 3. If this works. Yeah, it will give you. So it will give you mass is 0. So Venus is 1, Neptune is 2. It will give you 3 because, like we said, it's the same thing with range. You don't, the last number is not added in your values. It will only add the second number. So the other thing you can do with lists, you can add. So we add values using append. So let's say planets dot append, and then we write the planet we want to add. So Mercury. So we can add Mercury. Then when you print planets again, it will have Mercury in it. Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Mercury. So appending is just basically adding it to the end of the list. The other thing you can do is, there's so many other things you can do with lists. So the other thing you can do is looping through lists. So for A in planets, print into planets. I can remove the last line of code I wrote. Then if I run it again, it will if I run it again, it will give me the value. Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter, Mercury. So the reason why it didn't give me, initially I had put planets, it didn't give me the right answer, because if I run for A in planets, print planets, it will run all the planets as lists. But then if you want to run them as different items, you can just iterate through them. Any question up to there? Okay, so I think I can continue. So we've been able to use different inbuilt functions so far. We've been able to use print. So like for instance, we're using print here. We've been able to use, we've been able to use format, and we've also been able to use range and upper. So, but then other times we want to import, we want to get functions that we've already created, or to extend the functions that we have and get others. So this is done through importing. And these specific purpose functions are called modules. So we want to import modules from other pieces of code. So let's see, for example, we already created a function here in, I didn't create mine in returns. I created mine in functions.py. So in functions.py, we created a function that could be able to run the name. You to print your name and say hi there, then your name. So with this, we also created one, though we didn't code this one. So let's say we want to use the same function we used in another code. So this, it's called a module. So we want to use the module in another code. So we can do, we have our code here, define hello name, hello underscore name into name. We can go to import and import our file. So import, then it was in functions. So import functions. Then you can print into functions. Now the function name, which was hello underscore name into the different name. So let's run our code. Oh. Let's run. Functions, hello underscore name, imports, print, functions. I'm not sure what error I'm having. I'm not sure what the error is here. Let me repeat the whole thing. So I can run my function. So print the function was underscore name. So functions dot name into the name. Now there is my, I think the problem was with functions. I wrote function instead of functions. But yeah, so we've been able to import functions and print on the name, John. So I think it came with all the other functions that we'd already computed. The other thing we can, there's also the different functions that we can import, like for instance, import random. And with import random, random is a module that is used to print random. So you can print different number values, let's say between random values between 10 and 300. So if I run my code, it will give me a random value. Oh, and it will give me a value between 310 and 300, a random value. So with random, it's a function that it's a module that you can be able to import, and you can use it to print random values between different. This is, for instance, if you want to use random values in your data, but you don't have enough data, so you want to use random values. So yeah, so I have a challenge for you guys. I know it's been less than even an hour to 1 hour 30 minutes, but yeah, so there's a challenge here. Challenge.py. Hello. So there's a challenge here in challenge.py. You'll see the challenge. So you want to see 10 lists of random numbers. So for instance, the first list will have 0 items. So the second will have 1 item, the other one will have 2 items, and so on and so forth. So the random integers will be between 0 and 100. And then you can be able to use this this is the output that we want to get at the end of it. So you can use the knowledge you've had and tie them together. So there's a hint there. So I'll leave you guys to do it for the next 10 minutes. So by 8:47, we can be back and see if anyone has been able to solve this challenge. It's not that hard, it's not that simple. So if you need any reference materials from any of the code that you've done, if you want to see what random is all about, how it works, or if you want to see for lists, how to iterate between lists, how to create lists, you can just tell me. But yeah, so you can do the challenge at 8:47. I'll be back and we can see how you guys are faring on. a few minutes to go. I hope you guys are working on your code.
Hello, Bethany.
Hi.
Yeah. So a quick question in the meeting chat, please.
Yeah, I've seen it. So
Yeah.
most of these modules, like import random, you don't have to have it in your laptop or your device. Some of them some of them are already there. But in case you don't have them, you can just go to your terminal. You can just go to your terminal, and with Python, everything is as simple as pip install. So let's say pip install NumPy. NumPy is basically numerical Python. Yeah, it's already there. Let me see, what can I not have in my... I think everything is already satisfied. But if you don't have it in your, like pandas, you just pip install, it will install, and you already have the packages. If you don't know how to install them, you can just go to your browser and you can just go to your browser and check the pip NumPy. And if for example, if I don't know how to spell NumPy, when you search in your browser, it will give you suggestions. Pip install NumPy, then NumPy py, then pi. Here, this is a Python project that you can, gives you all the pip install things that you need. So it's pypi.org. Then so you can search different libraries, different projects, like let me search pandas. And yeah, it will give you which pandas do you want to install. Then you say that one. Then it will give you a way on how you can install it. Pip install pandas 2, then you copy, and you come and paste in your, can shift and insert in your, I don't know, it has an error. Oh yeah, I think it's because we already installed pandas. But that's just the basic way of, if you don't have, most of these modules are either inbuilt, and you don't, when it comes with Python, if you can't find them, just go to pypi.org and you'll get them there. There's another question. Oh yeah. So I hope you guys are done. Let me add you 2 more minutes. Then this is a problem. So basically you're printing a list of 10. You want to see 10 lists. Each list has, like, the first list has 0, the second has 1, the third has 3 random numbers. I mean 2, 3, 4. Yeah, random numbers contained in the random numbers between 0 to 100. So let me add you 2 more minutes, then we can see if there's anyone who's been able to figure it out. Okay, so anyone who's been able to successfully finish the challenge, I show you how it works. Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear? So basically the solution is just creating functions and having loops inside them and having, we learned about importing. So you must first import the random, then create a function, then the function has different loops inside. You can also create a loop outside the function to finish up the function. So basically this is how it looks. So the first step is to import random, because the challenge is each list will have a random integer between 0 to 100. The first thing is import random. So from the hints we've been told, write a function that generates a list of random numbers. So this is how the function will look like. Then a loop inside the function. So from the answer, so it's basically define, generate. Okay, this function has a very long name, but the thing about writing function is it should be accessible to all, so everyone must actually know what you're writing about. So generate random list into number of items. So you can give the random items to be the list you're creating, and the list is initially empty. So for I in range number of items, this is for the number of items. So our parameter is the number of items. So I is basically the number, is what you want to be represented there. So for I in the number of items, so the range is, let me repeat myself again. So you want to write the list to contain, the first list to contain 0, the second to contain 1, then 2. So the number of items is basically now the, in list 1 in a file was 0, the number of items is 0, list 2, 1, then 2, then 3, and all that. So that with that you can use range. So with range, it can, so range in number of items. So then random items, you append a random number in the list. I hope you all understanding it. So for I in range, the number of items, then, oh, sorry. Wow. Oh yeah, here it is. So then you can create, so it will return the random items. Then you can create another loop. So this one will now print the list. So for I in the range of like 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then the random list will generate a random list. Now it will now run the function using I. So for instance, the random list will, the first generation, it will generate, the first I is 0. So it will generate a random list from 0. So the random items are initially 0. No. So for I in range of number of items, that is I in 0, random items add at the end of the items 0. So you don't have any item to add. So you're not adding anything. So return random items. So the random list returned will be blank. So if it's 1, so number of items is 1. So no, random items is 1. So for I in number of items, so we have only 1. So you have to attend in random items, you have to add a random integer, and then it will now return the integer. Now this. So you have your list. I hope you've understood it. If you don't understand, you'll get the slides so you can go through it again. So don't worry, not every solution will look like this. So you can have any solution that you think. But with coding, it's basically logic. So you have to think through how your code will work and find the best way to work around it. So after this, we will, initially I told everyone to sign up. So I sent the sign up link. Yes, so if you are yet to check in, I have sent it in the chat, so you have to check in. So after this, after the session is over, you will receive a quiz. You will receive, so basically Python can be used for data analysis and AI. You can include all this when you're doing your data analysis, when you want to loop between lists. But the good thing about Python is we use different modules. For instance, you use random to generate a random list of items. You can use NumPy. NumPy is numerical Python. So NumPy is used to calculate. It is used to help you in calculating all those maths computations that you'll be doing. There's pandas. Pandas is for generating data frames and working with data frames, like cleaning the data and everything. Then we have something like Seaborn and Matplotlib. They work together, but not really together. They have different, they have the same function for visualization, but they have different elements. So from here, you can now go and do a quiz at MLH. MLH localhost, I'll send this link. I'll send this link in a few minutes. So you can go ahead and do the quiz there. Then I've told you, you can sign up. Ensure you sign up from the link that I shared earlier. And after you sign up, you'll get a lot of resources. So yeah, then we'll be having a second workshop next week, same time, same place. So come prepared. You can review what you've learned today. So next week we'll be dealing with Flask. So Flask is a Python framework used to build web apps. So you can join us next week for that. The presenter will be different. He will be an MSP from QR. He's called Jeremiah. So yeah. So last thing. Oh yeah, it's the quiz. I'm sending the quiz in a few minutes. So anything